Well, good morning, guys and ladies. It is April 10th, Sunday. I'm out here on Lake Talquin today. Yesterday it was blowing 25. Couldn't fish, and we had a pile of rain. Lake is really muddy. River's high and flowing fast. But I came back out here on Lake Talquin today. It's close to my home, so it's a good place for me to go. Looks like we're going to have a calm morning. So I came out here this morning and I started looking for these post-spawn crappie. I'm trying to find crappie that are done spawning and are starting to move back out to the first breaks. And before I did this intro, guys, I idled a good quarter mile of the lake, and I just hadn't hardly seen anything. I haven't seen any schools of crappie. I just found one school here. We're going to try to catch a few of these in a minute. But I covered quite a bit of ground, and not only did I not see crappie, but the other most important thing is I didn't see any shad at all. No bait fish at all. So I think these fish are still up shallow. So we're going to mess around with this one school I found. I did find one school of fish here. It looks like crappie. And we're going to see if we can catch a few of them. And then we're going to get up shallow, some of these creeks and coves, and see if we can locate these fish, because I just am not finding them offshore yet. I thought they would be offshore by now, but maybe this high water and muddy water is keeping them shallow. But hang with me. We're going to get out here on Talquin today and see if we can catch some fish. There's some big old crappie in that tree right there. Problem is they just don't hardly show up on this live scope at all. But they show up really good on my side scan. But we're gonna see if we can try to get one or two to come out of there anyway. Dropping it straight down on. Go after it. Come on, eat it. Eat it. Got some big fish, but like the other day, he didn't want to bite. There he is. He went up there and ate it right under the boat. So it looks like I'm gonna have to get right up on them, guys. Boy, I'm having conflicting problems here. There we go. Nice crappie. Good start to the day. Butter. Down there, monk. There he is. There's a nice crappie. That's a good start to the morning. Heck yeah. Big old thick pretty crappie. Looks like he's already spawned. Beautiful fish. Try that again. Wow, that fish saw that bait from so far away. So guys, I don't know if you can tell in the video of how dirty and stained this water is. I would say there's maybe 6 inches of visibility, 5 or 6 inches. You know, if you can see on my live scope, if that was going to be viewable in this video, one of those fish, the fish I just caught, was actually way down on the bottom, at least 4 feet down under that jig. He came from in the back on the bottom and ran up there through all the rest of the fish and chased that jig down and ate it. So, you know, I think these fish, either they have way better vision than we give them credit for, because I'm still using that little chartreuse and green pumpkin jig, and it is not super, it is very natural and not very bright in this mud, in this stained muddy water. And that fish still knew that jig was there and ran up there and got it. So, you know, I see that a lot where the water can be super dirty and these fish still know that bait's down there in that water. Either they have much better eyesight than we give them credit for, or they can feel these baits. I'm not sure what it is, but good example. There he is. That feels like a good fish there, guys. That's a bass. No wonder he felt big. He's the wrong species. What are you doing out here? You should be up there on the bank. Come here and give me my jig back. Little largemouth bass down there amongst those crappie. Tree. There he is. There we go. Get right up on top of him and drop it straight down there to him. Beautiful fish. Under the boat right there, somebody catch him. Oh no, the line's tangled up around on the rod. They will definitely eat it if you can get it down there on one. That one nailed it. Another pretty crappie on Lake Talquin this morning. Alright, nice crappie. Yeah, they done figured out I'm here now. It's hard to get on the bite. That's a nice crappie there. Beautiful, beautiful Lake Talquin crappie. Hey guys, this is what those fish look like on the side skin. You see these faint little dots right here and these little lines in this tree? That's what you're looking for. That's how you pick them out. Let's go find some more. Alright guys and ladies, it is actually the next weekend. My day got cut short out on Lake Talquin, and I had to call it a day before I was able to finish up my video. So this is April 16th. I'm back out here the next Saturday. I ran back over here to Lake Talquin. We got a bunch of nasty weather in. I just love these weathermen. It's only supposed to be a 30% chance of rain today, but we've already got lots of rain headed this way. And so I'm gonna sneak out here on the lake for a little while and see if we can finish up this video, do a little more looking out here on Lake Talquin before this rain gets here. I also, during the week, Garmin came out with their next update for the live scope update. For my unit, it's 2.0. I think that's what they're calling it, update 20. So I went ahead and updated my unit. So we're going to get out here on the water and we're going to see if that helped at all, if it did anything at all, and see if we can catch a fish or two before this rain gets here. So you guys hang with me. Let's see what we can do. So guys, I know the volume picks up on two different cameras, so I'm kind of repeating myself. You might be able to hear me when I'm up there looking at that camera, but so far what I'm seeing is that latest update 2.0, if anything, I can see fish less. They're hard to make out. So far I can barely see my jig, if at all. This is a 1/8 ounce jig with a 2-inch baby shad on it, and I just get little tiny glimpses of it. It's not showing up anywhere near like it used to. I've adjusted my settings back to where I normally have them. So, you know, my opinion is they pretty much made a mess out of my live scope. And if you guys have a live scope with the LVS 32 and you have not updated it with that, starting with that 1910, don't do it, guys. I mean, this has just been almost a joke at this point. So we'll just have to wait and see when they come out with that new transducer, if I can ever get one. We'll see if that clears things up. And I actually do have a new transducer being delivered today, an LVS 32, so I'll hook that on here for the next trip, and we'll take a look at that. But honestly guys, I don't have a lot of faith that that's gonna fix it either. It's probably just gonna look the same. But yeah, it's not good. Not impressed at all. You can see those fish, but man, they just look like some kind of star or something. My jig's not showing up pretty much at all. Y'all see that jig? I barely see little glimpses of it. The fish are like just little starry glimpses. I can't even tell if they're, well, I can't even tell if it's fish hardly. Is. There we go. Thank you, bass, for letting me take my frustrations out on you today. Ow. Pretty little bass. There we go, guys. Another nice crappie. I tell you, my live scope is just about worthless. Well, good morning, guys and ladies. It is April 17th. So looks like we're gonna have a pretty morning for a little while, but then it's supposed to cloud up and have thunderstorms again this afternoon. But yesterday I was out here on Lake Talquin and I was trying the latest update, the 2.0 update, I believe it is. And you know, guys, by the end of the day, I was pretty frustrated. You could probably see it in this video how frustrated I was. It was the worst update yet that I've seen. My unit just almost was unusable to the point I just didn't even want to fish. But when I got home yesterday, I had a new transducer, a new LVS 30 transducer that Garmin sent me. So I put it on the boat last night, and we're gonna get out here this morning and we're gonna get this thing calibrated. We can go out here and see if we can locate some fish and see if the transducer makes any difference. Now, I'm not very optimistic that that's gonna fix the problem, but we're gonna take a look at that and see what it does. So you guys hang with me and let's go find out. All right, guys, so this is right out of the box. I know we got a glare this morning. So I took and installed the new transducer. I came out to the lake, I restored the defaults on my unit and then calibrated my compass. And then I did adjust I did take the depth off auto and the gain off auto and hid the grid and left everything else in default. And I don't know, it's looking pretty good at the moment. We're gonna ease up here to these fish and we'll see what they look like. So you guys hang tight with me for a minute. Now, guys, I over the last 3 trips out here, I've got quite a bit of live scope footage to show you guys. However, when I turned my camera on this morning, it told me it was repairing my file. So if I don't have a lot of live scope footage of all my other trials and tribulations for the last couple of days out here doing this, I apologize, but these cameras, you just never know whether or not it's gonna mess up on you or not. So I may have lost 3 days of footage. Alright, we're gonna zoom the range out a little bit. Stumps are showing up pretty good in this default. I'll have to look in a few minutes and see what the settings are, if the image is good, but so far it's not looking bad. Fish are showing up a little bit. We'll see when we get up here what the actual crappie look like and whether or not I can see a jig, and then we'll start adjusting from there. If y'all can see those little faint dots right there, that's our first school of crappie. So we're gonna try this new live scope out on those and see what they look like. First, we're gonna adjust our settings and see if we can make these things show up a little bit better. Looks like that's about as good as we're gonna get. Alright, hang with me. Let's see if we can see those with the live scope. Alright, I got really muddy water, but we're going to start out with that little 1/8 ounce green pumpkin and chartreuse. Oh my goodness. What is that? Oh, look at that. Well, not what we were trying to catch, but man, did he eat it too. Well, can't get the crappie to bite, but did get a bass to bite. we go. Maybe we just needed to catch a fish to get them stirred up. Nice crappie, beautiful fish. Oh, Misty, you hit it. There we go, another nice crappie. So guys, I think I'm gonna have to hold my verdict. I think I got a skewed results with all these shad on top of these fish. So we'll have to wait until we get a better conditions. Oh, I definitely can't hardly see my bait, but you know what? We're still catching them, so at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Moving awfully fast, coming right at us. Blowing it. Go. All right, guys and ladies, little guy, just keeper sized. So after 3 trips out here on Lake Talquin, working on my live scope and catching a few crappie while we were doing it, it looks like I have finally got it back to where I really like it. Now, I don't know if that was due to the update, the 2.0 update, or me putting a new transducer on there. I suspect, this is my opinion, but I suspect it's because I put a new transducer. I suspect that when I did my original update, something got out of whack on my transducer, and that's why my picture was so bad. Now, let me look and see what my settings are, guys. Hold on just a second, and I'll tell you what I got my live scope set on. All right, so we have noise reject on high, ghost reject on low, and everything else pretty much I think is turned off. Color gain is default. Color limit is 0. And I have my gain at about 68, which is where I used to run it before I started having all the issues. So I'm happy, guys. I can work with this. Yep, I'm happy. I can work with that. I think I have got my live scope back to where it's I'm not messing with it. I'm not doing any more updates on it. I'm gonna wait for that new transducer to come out, and when it gets here, we'll try that out and see how we like it. And I'm gonna get back to fishing, guys, and doing a lot less being frustrated and complaining about my unit. So, you know, I have to apologize for, I'm sure, the frustration that I've had over the last 2 or 3 months, however long it's been, fighting these live scope problems. You know, it shows, it distracts me from trying to make my videos, but hopefully we got everything good now, and we'll get out here and start catching some fish. So let me give you an update on what I found over the 3 days fishing out here on Lake Talquin. So I looked around this morning and I found one school of fish offshore. You guys probably see a couple of those fish on video, and we looked at them on the live scope, but they had so many shad around them that it looked like I was getting a horrible picture. And honestly, I was getting a really bad picture when I had that noise reject on medium and low and off. It just was blurring everything up. But that was compounded by the fact that there was indeed a giant school of shad all over the top of what I was trying to look at. But that was I looked all over, and that's the only school of fish I found offshore. So right now, as you can see, I'm right up on the bank. I got back up on the bank and started looking for fish right up on the bank, and I'm seeing them. Now they're in transition, so they were scattered. There's just one here and one there, and some of them are a little lethargic, but that's where I found them. Still close to shore, a little bit deeper water close to the bank, and yeah, that's what it was. Now, I expect that any time now over the next few weeks, these fish will start moving back out. They're slowly working their way. At some point, they're going to school back up, and that's when things are going to get fun. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this exercise of me trying to fix this Garmin live scope and didn't get too frustrated and tired of listening to me complain about it. But guys, I'm happy today. It's a good day. I got a bunch of weather coming in, and I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you on the water next weekend.